What if I told you that humanity had been interacting with the exact same mysterious entities for thousands of years? Would you believe me? Today we look at the sky and talk about grey aliens, spaceships and advanced technology. But for thousands of years our ancestors looked at the exact same landscapes of sky and spoke of the Fae, the fairies, the gentry, the good people, and many other beings. We think we've discovered something brand new in this universe. But what if we didn't discover aliens at all? What if we've just updated the firmware on a psychological template as old as time? If you've had an unexplainable experience yourself, you'll know the truth isn't always found in science textbooks. Sometimes it's hidden in plain sight inside our oldest tales. Let's look at how the fairy evolved into the grey. Let's strip away the modern Hollywood tropes. Pop culture turned fairies into tiny glittering pixies with butterfly wings and magical powers. But true historical European folklore paints a completely different picture. In the old accounts, the Fae were described as pale or greenish humanoids. They were shorter than humans, possessed completely hairless skin and were famous for their massive dark, hypnotic eyes that could paralyse a person in a single glance. Does that sound familiar? It's the exact physical blueprint of a grey alien. Historically, these entities were called the Others because they looked human enough to be uncanny but fundamentally different. When people encounter them today, the same chilling otherworldly recognition happens instantly. The core of modern UFO lore is the abduction phenomena. Being taken from a bedroom or an isolated road into a sterile room by force. Centuries ago, the exact same thing existed. People were told never wander the lonely paths at night or step inside a fairy ring, or they would be snatched away into the fairy realm. But it's what happens during these abductions where the two worlds become completely identical. First, let us consider missing time. Many alien abductees report hours of missing time. In folklore, a human would dance with the fairies for what seemed like 10 minutes, only to step back into our world and find that 7 years or more had passed. A significant amount of abductees frequently describe having medical examinations focused on the human reproduction system, some of whom are alleging that greys are creating hybrids to save a dying race. In ancient lore, fairies were utterly obsessed with human reproduction. They allegedly stole human babies, replaced them with changelings, and abducted adults to act as midwives or even breeding partners to revitalise their race. So why did the story change? It comes down to cultural plausibility. Folklore is adaptive. It survives by fitting into the worldview of the era. Because we live in a scientific age, our minds demand a technological explanation. The entities encountered no longer wave magic wands. They use plasma beams, anti-gravity devices that are way outside of our technological understanding. The grey alien doesn't fly through walls using a spell. They phase through using advanced technology. And the doorways that connected them to our reality came from the power in this ancient land. And just as it does now, much of it remains unexplained. Fairies use magic to carry you off, pass you through solid walls, and into those quieter places, those liminal spaces between our reality and theirs. I'll see you on the other side.